Morning and Assalamu alaikum. I am grade 3 English literature teacher. Remember in the last topic, in the last video I shared the story of Prince and the Pauper written by Mark Twain. And the prince is a very rich boy and his name is Edward, while the pauper is a very poor boy and his name is Tom Canty. His father was a thief and his mother was a beggar, while the Edward, that was a king, the other boy was a king. So both boys were born in the same day, but Tom Canty was very poor, but he was very much he loved to learn and study hard. So it was his good fortune that Father Andrew was living in the fish market, and he was an old priest who was working with the king and his family. But when he became old, the king put him out of his kingdom, and now he has no money. So the old priest was poor and he was living in the fish street where Tom Canty was also living. So now Tom Canty had a very good chance of learning with Father Andrew because Tom was a good student. Now that Father Andrew, he was a nice person and he taught so many things to Tom Canty, and he also taught him a little Latin also, and to write the Latin as well because he loved to write and read. Now Fish Street was not a good place. It was a noisy and bad place when everyone was making noises and fighting all the night. But as compared to that, Tom Canty was a very good boy and he loved to do what he is learning from Father Andrew. Now what was his behavior? Because it was his father's profession, so he has to beg for pennies in the street, and sometimes he collects some coins at the end of the day. But if he collects less coins, his mother and sisters were kind, but his father and grandmother were very angry and they beat him. Now, if you see Father Andrew, he was like an uncle to Tom Canty, and he taught him many wonderful things because he had brought so many books from the kingdom, and he told so many interesting stories to Tom Canty. And the books were very expensive, but Andrew could buy it, so now Tom don't have to buy any of the books. He learned about the world where people were clean and wore beautiful clothes. So he was also wanting to be like Prince. Tom Canty also wanted to be like Prince. So he bathed in the river every day and washed himself and kept him clean all the time. Now, first of all, the children were used to make fun of him, and they were saying that you are behaving like a prince. But then they also understood that now this is a good behavior, and they started to respect that Tom Canty. And he was a very wise person. He used to give advice to them, and but everyone liked Tom Canty except his own family. So now Tom begged in the streets for pennies. He was eating his hard bread and drinking the dirty water, and he was happy playing with the boys. But one cold night when he was asleep, he saw a dream that he has become a prince, and so many beautiful people and beautiful ladies are around him. And when he wake up from the dream, he was very much his life was looking dark and bitter, so he began to cry. Now this was the story, this much we have studied. In this reference I have given something to write about the prince and the pauper. You have to describe the prince in few sentences. That's your homework. The name of the prince was Edward Tudor. His father's name was King Henry, who was a king. He had two sisters. He was rich and important. He doesn't have any friends. On the other hand, why you have to describe the pauper in few sentences. Tom Canty was a pauper. He was a poor beggar. His father was a thief, and he lived in Fish Street. He was a good child and he studies hard. Now in this reference you have got the pictures of Edward and Tom. You have to draw the pictures of Edward and Tom from the book. That's all for your homework. Thank you very much.